So you're new. You got a lot of new faces here this spring. How's the position group coming together? Cornerback.
We're starting to gel together. I think we started off early on. We had a lot of guys banged up and trying to get out there and trying to manage the reps for every guy to go out there and be able to compete. But the biggest thing I've been impressed with, man, is guys in the elite room. They taking coaching, they coming up, spending extra time trying to figure out exactly what we're trying to do. But been really impressed with their attention to details and trying to get better every day.
Is anybody busting out? Anybody busting out?
Well, I mean, they all trying to do the things we want. I think Xavier Lucas probably been the most consistent one, throughout the practice in the terms of his size, his speeds, and the things that he's been able to do. But he's been able to stand out. But they all have did things that have made plays. Right now, I'm just looking for a consistency piece out of all of them to continue to be getting better every single day.
Can you expand more on Xavier? I know you touched on size, speed, but what's he doing well? What's he do out here?
Well, the biggest thing, man, at first he's really smart. You know what I mean? He eats up the film room. He want to be coached. He want to be developed. I mean, for a guy his size, he has good twitch. I mean, he's been playing well, showing up in the run game, playing the ball down the field, making big plays, and obviously he's smart. He can make the checks at the corner position. You can put him at safety. He knows what to do. So it's just really been impressed with his attention to details, like I said, and obviously, just coming out every day and just being consistent.
Is he someone that, when he's playing corner, can he play the smaller receivers, the taller guys that are with his size speed combo? Is he a guy that's versatile that way?
Yeah, I mean, we get everything in our offense. With big guys outside, you got guys inside with Ray and those guys moving around. He's been able to show that he can handle both, and that's the biggest thing. Right now, we're playing, a little bit of field and boundary, and then going left and right, so they have to be able to play the field in the boundary at times to show their versatility. But he's been able to handle both and done a great job with it.
With the DBs, obviously it's basically a whole new room, new coaches, new defense, kind of new everything. Have there been any hiccups you guys had to kind of smooth out the first couple weeks of spring?
Well, yeah, it's really the growth. You know what I mean? Right now, you got a lot of new faces, not just the coaches. You got a new defensive style, but you got a room full of new guys as well, right? And everybody coming from different places. So the biggest thing we've been emphasizing is building a relationship and connecting, right? Because if we connect off the field, it eventually shows up on the field because we got to play as one, and that's the thing that we take it every day, is making sure that we're on the same page, we meet together, we see it together, and making sure guys go out there and communicate. They have to communicate, they have to be able to talk. But I've been really impressed with the group from day one to where we're at now. It's a lot more improvement, but the guys have done a great job of trying to work on that communication skill.
And what have you seen from Demar? He's a guy who missed basically all of last year. Seeing him back, him being back on the field, what's he been like in his career?
Man, I'm glad to have him. I'm glad to have him in Miami and have a chance to coach him and develop him. He's been banged up, but throughout the spring he's gotten better. Our medical staff has done a great job of just trying to get him back, and he's been building confidence. He got out there a couple downs and made some plays, and that's what you want to see with a guy that had a lot of football experience for him, is how you go about your business every day to be a pro, and he's been attacking his offseason like a pro to continue to get better.
What's he done about Charles Green?
Man, I love him. He's probably a little firecracker in the room, probably the lightest guy, but he loves football. And you can see it by his style of play, the way he shows up. He's very competitive. He wants to win, and he's very familiar with the defense, and he has earned a lot of respect from his teammates, so they lean on him a lot, but I've been enjoying every day to come in and coach him because he plays the football the way he's supposed to be played.
And I think Ray Joseph said the other day that he's the spiciest guy in the room, Charles Brantley. Have you heard anything funny that, funny stories that you can tell us about him that are, PG-13?
Not really, man. I think, he's very, very intense. He's probably one of the smallest guys in the room, so he got to show that he can handle this, and is obviously playing here. But, just his approach. He wants to show, and he's been playing football for a long time, so he knows what practice should like. He knows how to practice, right? And if you practice like that, you'll eventually play that way. So he understands the mindset, and I love that, the firecracker that he do bring, because he challenged every guy in the room in the offensive side of the ball. He's going to challenge everybody to get better, and that's what you want from a leadership standpoint, to come out here and compete every day.
Who in your group's doing the best job of taking the ball away?
Taking the ball away, they all been, like I said, it's been hit or miss every day, but I think, consistent-wise, those guys have attacked the ball well. X have made some plays. Emmanuel made a lot of plays today, attacking the ball and getting interceptions. Believe it or not, Andreas Williams, and Tyler Rose, they all have been taking the ball away in just terms of attacking the ball. We made an emphasis on that, man. The ball is everything. So we got to attack the ball, and those guys have been doing it for a lot of plays.
just the rapport like between you and Will, just two of you guys both handling DB. Just how have you guys sort of found your bond, found your connection?
Man, I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to be with another guy. You know what I mean? Just in terms of professionalism, Will bring every day, being a coordinator, a guy that sees it, you know what I mean? Understand that we come from a similar tree. We already speaking the same language, we're on the same page, but his football mind, you know, being everywhere, just every day we come in and we see it the same way, we talk, we communicate, but I love his intensity, I love the way he teaches, and I definitely enjoy working with him.
So, first couple weeks of spring, I know you talked a lot about getting like the unit all gelled and everything when we talked to you before spring started. How's that coming along?
Awesome. I mean, going into it now with 5 practices left, I think it's just consistently just getting better as communication goes and understanding the defense, with the new defense going in and just everybody being on the same page, so it's going in the right direction.
Are you finding that the communication is good with what you guys are instilling and making it?
Oh yeah, I think that's as we continue to go through this whole process, I think that's the biggest thing. No matter what, whether in spring ball, going into OTAs, training camp, and obviously season, that's going to be the biggest thing. Is communication breeds understanding. You guys probably heard me say that before.
Zachariah Poyer, what stood out to you about what he's done so far the first few weeks?
I think it's just really coming in and just understanding the defense. We're moving him around, free safety and strong safety. He's a very smart young man. I think that's the biggest thing for him is just understanding both safety positions, but he's doing a great job.
And what have you seen from Marquise Williams?
Awesome as well. I mean, being here for a while, I think now it's just learning the new defense, like we were just talking about earlier. But I think Marquise got a bright future. I mean, the biggest thing for him is just understanding both safety positions.
I know you guys aren't doing a lot of full speed tackling, but it's Zachariah's kind of showing you that he's a physical safety.
I think you guys probably already know. At the end of the day, we're gonna tackle. That's for sure. I know one biggest thing is, that's gonna be the biggest thing we talk about in the room is just making sure that everybody's physical, and it gets rewarded in our room. Physicality gets rewarded.
How's your group done with generating takeaways so far?
I'm all about takeaways. That's how you get paid. Wherever I've been, I think that's the biggest thing I keep preaching is making sure takeaways, obviously giving our offense more opportunities to score. So that's one thing that we harp on every single day.
Any players standing out in particular with
Not all of them. I mean, I think everybody likes to talk about individuals and things of that nature. Everywhere I've been, man, it's about being a cohesive unit, everybody being on the same page. As far as standing out, I would just say that was a great practice today as a whole unit. We just got to stay consistent with it and build on it.
Talk about the communication with the players. How's everything been between you and Zach as you guys work?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think it's unique because a lot of people want to say, oh, safety coach, corner coach. Really, at the end of the day, he and I both coached both positions and had our own room as the whole 5. So we really do a good job of switching it up. Sometimes I'm with the corner, sometimes he's with the safety. So it's just he and I just being on the same page, just like we tell these young men.
And you guys all meet together?
Yes, we do. So Tuesdays, Thursdays, we meet together, and then we break it out Monday, Wednesdays.
I know Zaquan, he's been out for spring so far, just banged up. But how has he progressed in terms of football IQ, learning the defense, stuff he can do off the field?
I think the biggest thing with Zaquan, man, is just learning and growing. He's got a lot of growth. But I would say this one thing for sure is, it's just everybody being all on the same page. He is well coming back. Today was his first day back, so we'll watch the tape and go from there.
And then Chris Ewald is a guy I think we were watching him play in high school. He played a lot of cornerback. How has he looked playing in the safety or nickel roles and stuff?
It's with any of our guys. They got to learn everything. That's why you ask, do we meet together? Yes, we do, because everywhere I've been, you got to be able to play multiple positions. And not only that makes you more valuable, right? So I just think, him learning all the positions. We just started out at nickel safety, but he's been playing some corner as well.
What are the traits you look for in your nickel?
Nickel is wise. You got to be able to talk, communicate, and then you got to be able to tackle and be able to play in the box and cover. So I think that's the biggest thing right there is being able to cover and get in the box and tackle.
Who do you feel has been able to do that?
The whole group right now. I think they keep asking, it's like we got to be physical. It doesn't matter from top to bottom. So I think that's the biggest thing is just continue to just harping on that part of it.
What has Brantley shown you so far this year?
Obviously, he's got a lot of experience. He's played in this defense. I think that's the biggest thing for him is he's got the experience in this defense. And just continue to grow. I think the biggest thing for him, we all talk about it, is he got to gain some weight. But he's doing a great job.
How do you guys think your guys' physicality and spring ball is going to translate against the season?
We're going to find out. We got to tackle this Saturday. Hopefully we will. And then we go from there.
I think Mario mentioned Zachariah Poyer has been good at holding back when you're not doing full tackling, and you're watched him and wait, no, okay, and then watched him stop on a dime or
No, we tackle every day.
Okay.
We tackle every day. That's one of the things in Indy we make sure we get the bags and we tackle. You guys probably saw it. Sometimes I'm holding the bag and they got to feel body on body.
when you're holding the bag, who's been the hardest hit you've taken from?
None. Anywhere I've been.